What was that like?
It's good. I felt a couple of times my shoulders go up, so I felt
That's okay.
I had to practice, but
Yeah.
I feel different.
So you know
Just
how
from the
to.
group.
Yeah, you feel different.
I wasn't doing this bit
Yeah.
at all. I was just
Yeah.
doing when you mentioned the colour, I started doing the colour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you need to do the color, you need to do the PC muscles, you need to do the chin lock, okay? Before we can move on to the other elements.
Yep.
But that's the basis. Now slow down your breathing.
Mm-hmm.
So you were breathing very fast.
Yeah, I was just trying to do the numbers, I think, instead of practicing on the form.
Yeah, so the slower you breathe, the longer you live.
Yeah.
And also have a gap between the breathing in
and the holding, yeah,
and a gap between the breathing out.
Which you said could cause so much more for your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
I normally do that. I just think I was rushing with the numbers.
Yeah, that's okay.
And with the cobra breath, as you said it was basically raising the Kundalini.
It is.
Is that the end goal of the practice? As not the end goal. I'm sure there's more stuff, but as in like how I got Shen and then you release it, or like is it like a full body orgasm, or is it something different completely?
That can be a side effect of that.
Okay.
So, the cobra breath is a most profound. It's the most profound vehicle of transformation. Mm-hmm. It is unleashing the Kundalini. Mm-hmm. It's like unleashing the dragon, mm-hmm. the potent power of life. And it's a potent power of creation and destruction. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's why it's like it's really releasing that dragon. Mm-hmm. So you need to learn to ride it. You need to learn to harness. You need to learn to control your Kundalini. So it's a little bit like when I was younger and the Kundalini used to be released and I didn't know how to channel it properly. I used to get blown away, or if there was a great master, I used to be, the Shaktipat, the energy was so great, it would impact me. And sometimes it's a bit like when I was likened to a kite. Do you remember those kites?
Yeah.
Yeah? It was like a kite that a strong wind will come and then blow it away.
Yeah.
And tumble it and destroy it. With the cobra breath, it's as if though someone put a string on, grounding me to planet Earth, but actually I can fly high as much as I desire.
Yeah.
But I'm still grounded.
Okay.
I became the person releasing the thread.
Okay,
instead of just being blown in the wind everywhere.
Yeah.
So I was flying high. I was grounded. I was in control on how much I'm releasing.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I became the magician. I became the magic wand.
Yeah.
I became the magic. Well, I am the magic. So that's what the cobra breath does.
And is it something that I don't know how to explain it. Is it a state that lasts, or is it a state that lasts like an hour or two and you have to do it again, or is it a conscious state that, as you said, I think you said it takes you like 100 years in Tantra or something, or a year in Tantra. So is it more like that, or is it not a high feeling? Because like the only feeling I've had is a full body orgasm.
Yeah.
In that kind of way. So I was like vibrating all over my body, and I was like in another world. I felt like, I felt so relaxed and happy.
Yeah.
Is it a feeling like that, or is it a more
the euphoria and the bliss?
Yeah, there's a side effect.
Are the side effects. If there was a goal for that would be enlightenment.
Okay.
For the benefit of all. So it's a practice. Everything that you get out of it is the side effect. Okay, so full body orgasms, outer body energy bodies, exploding into the edges of the universe. You become the universe.
Yeah.
You become one. You are one, but you feel it viscerally in every aspect of your being. So all that is actually the side effect. Becoming multi-orgasmic is the side effect. Having better relationships, having awarenesses and all these breakthroughs, they're the side effects. Okay. And the practice is what keeps you so so aligned and powerful in the center. It's like you become this huge tornado, like power, a powerhouse, and you can channel it in order to, plow fields, in order to do good with it. Yeah.
Is that a form as transmutation of energy? Is that a form of that, or is like a side effect?
Transmutation is what you do with the energy. So you take raw sexual energy and you transmute it in the body, and then you channel it into more refined expression of love.
Okay.
Yes. So transmutation is part of it.
Okay.
So there's transfiguration, transmutation, transcendence, transformation, all the T's.
Okay, I haven't got to that one yet. The T's.
That's okay. So
because one of my major questions because a lot of people, they don't use sexual energy, or they're not interested in that side, but they want to raise the kundalini in a different way, not through like massage. This is the way to do it.
Yeah.
It's important to me as well.
It's a very safe and very responsible way of doing it, so that you can actually do a lot of good in the world.
That's really important.
So it's and the side effects are phenomenal.
Yeah, they sound well. I felt one of them, and I felt amazing. Felt like this is unlocked in my life.
But just so that you're aware that a bliss of 5 seconds and a bliss of 5 hours feel exactly the same. They're bliss. Time stands still when you're in bliss state. So the 5 seconds may feel, it's a time dilation. It may feel like a 5 hours. And a 5 hours might feel like a 5 seconds. So, time is an illusion as well. I keep saying that to people. But they don't get it until they actually feel it and experience it. So these are the practices. You do them because of your commitment to your spiritual evolution, for the evolution of the planet Earth, of humanity or human unity.
I mean, since you said last time, what do you want to do here? Why are you here? And I felt, why am I here? I think it is to not teach me, but to heal people, help people, and help myself, of course. But I feel like it is.
That's the truth.
It's what I want to do.
Yeah.
So definitely nothing, not to do with money. I mean, if you need to give me £2 billion, I still want to do this, and I still want to teach martial arts. That's how I feel about it. But I probably wouldn't go and do something, pocket pizza shop, if I had £2 million. But I would do this, and I would teach martial arts. I feel like I'll do it forever. If, as I'm learning it. I have no knowledge right now, I guess, compared to what's needed, but
okay.
I'm happy to do it.
Good. Very good.
Got more questions, unless you wanted to carry on talking about what you were saying.
I'm happy for you to.
Honestly,
because what?
Listen to all day.
Thank you. Well, my ego is enjoying it, but.
Which questions to ask? So we've done a bit of breath, which I was going to ask.
So I said about slowing down the breath, yeah? You need to be in the gap.
Yeah.
Because that's where it's like the fertile void. It's where all possibilities can emanate from there. It's in the space between the breathing in and the breathing out.
How come that is so important?
It's the gap. It's an access. It's a doorway. It's like into the Bada world, into the world, into the space between the two worlds.
Okay.
So it's it really is important. Slow down the breath, stop breathing, then resume the breath, and then stop breathing. So it's inhale,
A little bit more.
yeah. So do that practice, and it's really good because it will allow us to be in that space where we get that there's no need to fear death. It really is incredible. There's practices like the Yoni Mudra, where we close the orifices. Okay, so we close that. So when you do that, you practice, and as you slow down the practice, I did it very quickly. You get to the space in between the space.
Okay.
That gap.
Yeah.
Okay, and it helps with many things. It also helps hear the sound of life happening through us, which is the mantra Soham. The sound of blood. It's said that the sound of blood in the body is Soham, the mantra, which means I am that I am. I surrender to all that I am. It means graceful swan.
Yeah, no, I find the gap makes me feel a lot more relaxed and better.
Yeah.
But just like the technical point on to level was useful, but yeah.
Being in the gap is very blissful.
Yeah, I feel that.
It's very kind of yummy, and being intoxicated without taking drugs.
Yeah.
And obviously when you're doing cobra breath and practices like that, refrain from taking drugs. Okay. So I don't know if you're consuming anything, but just make sure that no drugs, no alcohol.
Yep.
Because the brain is a whole chemistry manufacturer.
And what would you say is the cut-off point to when you should drink or take drugs before you do this practice? A week, a day?
I'm sorry, I don't.
Sorry, because you said no drugs or alcohol.
Yeah.
What should be the cut-off point? Like, if I was telling someone else or myself, the last time I should drink before I practice this, when would it interfere with it? So should I?
It really depends on the individual, what drugs and alcohol how much the quantities, what they're taking. But remember that our brain is a chemistry manufacturer, so we can actually produce LSD effects within the body if we put the tongue in the Kachari Mudra, where you turn the tongue back. Okay, so so that's
it's funky. Yeah, no, that's just so just for future references, because I don't drink. I don't really do any. I smoke cannabis maybe every few days. Apart from that, nothing.
And what's the quantity that you?
I smoke maybe one or two joints that day, and then I'll leave it out of my system.
Yeah. So refrain from doing it when you're doing spiritual practices, or definitely the cobra breath. You do it first thing in the morning. Okay, so it's about bringing clarity of awareness. Where drugs actually produces different things, and cannabis is it kind of different it brings alters. Different qualities.
Different alters your mind at the end of the day.
It does, yeah. But the cobra breath and the tantric spiritual practices are actually bringing you more awareness, and able to alter reality at will. So when we are intoxicated, there's no purity of the energy. Okay. Yeah. And people take cannabis for whatever reason. Some cancer patient take cannabis,
and that's why I used to make oil for cancer patients.
Yeah.
And did that. That was my, well, not job because I didn't get any money from it, but that's what I was doing.
Yeah.
So,
Which is a great service. But it's holotropic, substances which they alter the mind.
yeah.
Okay. And in Tantra, what we do is the breathing alters the mind. We actually have the manufacturer there,
Yeah.
and we can be in control. We don't need to rely on substances.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's no side effects.
Yeah.
Well, that's not quite true. There are side
The
effects.
dizzy ones.
There are side effects, and the side effects can be beneficial
Yeah.
or non-beneficial for the individual, depending whether they are actually practicing as they ought to, as
Yeah.
instructed, and about how willing they are to take control and take ownership and responsibility for their emotional upheaval. And that's a big one.
Yeah.
Because most
Taking
people would
responsibility.
rather vent and vomitize their stuff on other people.
Yeah, kind of. This month definitely tried not to do that. My mum's like, "Oh, you're so different. Like, I can see you're trying so much more." And I'm like, "This is it. This is how I'm gonna be. Like, I'm moving forward.
Yeah.
There's no point complaining about life." But my mum was like that as well. She's never complains about life. She just gets on with it. But me and my brother or my father would always complain, and I was like, "No, there's no reason to be down or complain or any of that. Really, just gotta do what you gotta do."
Yeah. And doing this work will get you very, very sensitive to energies. So you'll become sensitive to people's energies, you'll become sensitive to smells. So there's a whole worlds will open up. You'll know things. People say to me, "How do you know?" I pick it up from them. I can channel things for them. Because we are ultimately connected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel it. With one question before I forget the breathing, is there a number you should, like you said, breathe slowly, which I normally do, but normally I breathe to like 5 or 6 or maybe to 8.
Yeah.
And then I hold and then I release.
Yeah.
So
hold it. So as you practice it, you'll be able to hold it longer.
So it's okay for it to get longer and more.
And if you get dizzy, okay, then don't close your eyes. Focus on the end of your nose with a line down to the floor, so that you're not looking not looking forward, but looking down. But your eyes are still open. Then that would get you here, because when a lot of times people close their eyes, they get lost somewhere. Okay, when you do close your eyes, focus on your third eye here. Okay. And when you're listening to me or something, or when you're not talking, when your mouth is closed, put your tongue towards your third eye. Can you do that? It's where the soft palate changes inside the mouth, behind the teeth.
And then it goes rigid.
Yeah. It's as if though it's pointing towards the third eye. So that activates the pineal gland, and it begins to excrete serotonin. And serotonin is important. It's where, the sunlight, it's like shamanic journeying. It helps.
And that's if my eyes open.
When your eyes are closed.
Okay. And do I focus on that little light there? Because I used to do that as a child, and it used to really give me nightmares. Obviously not anymore, but is that the same thing I'm looking at there?
Yeah. So if you are, then you are imagining or visualizing as if though you have like a blue light, a beacon of blue light. It's like you are a lighthouse and you are observing.
Because I never know what to do with it. But as a child, I remember seeing it all the time when I used to go to sleep, and then I used to play around with it. And then I used to wake up in the middle of the night and see all sorts of weird things.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. I used to terrify myself though. I used to see things coming out of the mirror. my clothes used to lift up and move. I used to, as a child, I was like, what the hell is going on? But then it kind of shut off after a while. I just didn't do it anymore.
How young were you?
3 or 4, 5.
Oh.
Yeah, I think. And then my brother was born. And I used to have a lot of nightmares. Well, I used to think they were nightmares, but I think that I used to think my great grandma used to visit me, and I used to spin into my bed from the ceiling. And it was after I used to do stuff like that, it was really weird. But,
trippy.
Yeah, it was trippy as a 3-year-old, 4-year-old.
And you haven't had that.
If I focus on it, I can see the light straight. I can see the patterns happening, but I don't focus on it because I don't know what to do with it. So I thought I'll learn from you.
So become the observer. You just observe. Make sure that it's blue.
Yeah.
Okay. You okay for water? Yeah. You are.
Yes, please. Yeah, thank you. But should I not? I don't know how to open it anyway. But should I do this exercise or should I wait till later on?
No, do the exercise. It's good.
So when I close the eyes and do this, tongue up there.
Yeah.
This is all recorded anyway, so I've got
yeah. So this will tie in with the cobra breath elements. So it's a practice, okay? And practice a lot with the PC muscles. Practice a lot with the counting. Okay? I request that you learn to count to 28 with your body, so that eventually when I give you all the instructions together, you will know when you are at 14 or 21 or 28.
Okay.
Your body will know what is 7, 14, 21, 28. Okay, rather than you having to think about it, because the mind will be engaged on something else.
Yeah, it has to be, yeah. So it's okay to practice all of this?
Yeah.
Including the lights?
Yeah. So a lot of people, they have beads. You see, I have beads, and there's like the 7. So I could count for 7. And, there's different markings for 21, 28, like that. But what happens when it tears?
Back to basics.
Exactly. So you've got to learn it on you, how to do that.
Foundations.
Yeah. So this becomes just an ornament, beautiful thing. But actually, it has its purpose. It's got a certain amount and certain numbers, and but doing the beads is not advisable. Learning to count on your body. Yeah.
I'll do that. Okay.
All right.
Just a couple. I'll go back to what my fear was, and one of the major things I wanted to learn was, I think the fear was basically not knowing. Like you said, I need to do a lot of practice. So maybe if you let me know the structure of the course or what we're going to be doing, how do you think I should do more intensive? Like a week of training, or and a lot of my fears are, if we're going to do energy work, I'm scared about the time limit. So imagine I don't get up enough, or I fail, or
sorry, or you what?
Not fail, but I don't get my energy up in time, or something doesn't work out, or it's blocked, and then I have to do it another day. And it's cost wise. That's one of my fears, because I don't have lots of money at the moment.
Yeah, but, I get that.
So do you prefer to do, like, if we do a certain thing that you recommend, we do like 2 sessions in that day, and then intensive or whatever you feel like? And then the other question was, what do you think I should learn first, I guess, or what I should learn more first? And my experience was learning how to do full body orgasm myself, on myself, or learning to control it, because someone else has done it for me. But I have no idea how to do it myself. When I try and do it myself at home, as soon as I take my hands off my fitness, the sensation of the energy I get lost with it. Yeah. And another thing I know which I haven't done right is when I hold the PC muscle too much, my erection goes. Yes. So these are all questions I have no idea about. No.
All right. So let me pause that and start again.